coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face with the Baltimore Ravens. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now those linemen, of course, can't be more than a yard downfield when a pass is thrown, and they might have been able to call that on a couple of guys there.
Set up, 10 Lobo. Push him back. Push him back.
He'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Second and 14. Throwing right, and that's complete. That one good for 26 and a first down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Back to throw here. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already into field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. It's a pickup of 11 at a Baltimore first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
Looking to throw. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
But that doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But they took the shot, didn't get it, and there's definitely a difference here because they had a chance to get 7, maybe 8 if they pushed it. Instead, they'll likely settle for 3.
Yeah, opening drive, holding him to 3, psychologically, maybe a win for the defense. And his kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And now here come the Raiders.
Let's go. 90 Wolf.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Let's go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. And he whips that one incomplete there. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
They'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the 1st down there, help them relax a little bit.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Ready.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland 1st down.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
A run there on 1st down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Man left, man left.
2nd and 5. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Here we go.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. This is caught. That one goes for 24 yards.
Here we go.
So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to...
And that is caught! Touchdown, Raiders! From 6 yards away, and the Raiders have taken the lead. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want it to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
They'll set up a throw, and that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Don't get nervous. Ready.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 34-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Come on,
this quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. He'll drop to throw. Got some real estate inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Ready?
Get it. Play.
They're going to look to throw, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Set.
20. He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Go.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds up past the 5. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in the guy's going to handle the football. Because if you turn it over here, not only do you go in down at the half, you've given the momentum squarely to your opponent.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Here's Sam Cook now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Fielded at the 43. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones, they relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. And this one is right down Broadway. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's bring it.
Out. Ready to go. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be down close to a first down at the Ravens' 41.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
Let's go.
3 down.
Right.
There's the mic.
Pick it up. Pick it up. 2.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. In for the score. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ready.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. They'll drop the throw. And he's got his man on the out route. A gain of 6 there on first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works a defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Now back to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They come out here in the eye. 2nd and 2. Rush coming, and he's taken down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
And his kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. This is taken at about the 14. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
How many times have we seen this late in the 4th quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Let's go.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. On the move to his left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the 1st down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 38-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Second and 1. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Ready? 90, Wolf. The outlaw.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. He's back to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really, start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Single.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. From 17 yards out, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
3 down. Out.
Shoot.
They'll look to throw. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the 4th. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job 1 was taken care of. The 2-point conversion to get this thing tied.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeout.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
2nd and 3. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They're probably about 1 big play from getting into field goal range. I'd go with a 2-deep coverage. Make sure my safeties are back to cover all of the field deep.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game.
We go! 10-2 stop.
They'll look to throw here. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
We got him. We got him.
Tackled back at the 41-yard line.
Jet to the ball. Jet to the ball.
That's the end of regulation with the score all time.
And we need overtime to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Overtime here out west, and you got a team from the Eastern time zone. Maybe their body clock's a little thrown off, or is that overhyped?
I don't think it's overhyped, and I think that for most teams, you're hoping that your mind overrules your body because your body's looking for slippers and bedtime clothes, right? They're looking for the pajamas. But in this case, you've got to stay with it mentally. And what a lot of teams do, they never change their watches. They always say on East Coast time and just go ahead that way to try and defeat any of the effects of moving to the West.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready?
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 43. Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Ready?
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Opening drive of overtime, and now facing a 3rd down and 6. Big play coming up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready to go.
Looking to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. A lot of efficiency here on this drive. Heck, this may be their best drive of the game.
Yeah, if they'd moved it like this throughout the entire game, we probably wouldn't be here in overtime. But right now, what you just said was the key word, efficiency. Taking care of the ball, move it downfield, get themselves in a position to score and win this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settle it, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. And this will be caught. It's a touchdown. And absolute stunned silence here as they have come in and stolen this one in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA